Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Chronicles of Nikki. Now, I know I have been super lazy with recording my material, and that is my fault. My apologies. I promise I won't do that again. But with this whole quarantine, social distancing, staying to yourself type thing, it's really hard to get motivated to find material that I want to talk about when I'm stuck in the house by myself, right? But I won't punish you guys for that. So I promise I will do better at getting this material out to you guys and posting it on my YouTube channel. And with that being said, today's topic is going to be, do you really know your spouse? Like, do you really know your spouse? It's so funny to me when I hear men and women say, oh, I know everything about my girl or my wife or my husband or my boo. And I'm like, do you? Because I can pretty much guarantee no one knows everything about their spouse. Come on, seriously, how could you? But we're going to get into that. You guys sit back and relax, and I'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, before I get into today's topic, I do want to talk about this whole self-quarantine thing. It's really messing with social lives of people. It's messing with their income, as far as service industry people, waiters, waitresses, bartenders, people that rely on that income to pay their bills. And now that all that these places are closed, they don't have money coming in. And I understand, they can file for unemployment, but it's nothing like the money that they would have coming in to maintain their lifestyle, to take care of their bills, and for those of you that are considered essential employees, or you do have the opportunity to work from home, that is a blessing. We really need to count our blessings for things like that when we are still able to receive a paycheck from our employers by working from home, or for those of you that are still going into the office, we really have to be thankful for this, because this is a really bad time that we're in, and it's only going to get worse, and it's really beneficial to check up on your friends, check up on your loved ones, see how everyone is doing. My sister, made a comment like, start writing on that book that you've been putting off for the last year. Start reading a new book. I am reading this Stephen King book. It's called The Institute, which this is a really good book. And you guys can also find my book that is on Amazon. Just search Nikki Jackson and you'll pull it up. It's The Secret Life of Daniel Alexander. And then there's also the second book, The Secret Life of Daniel Alexander Exposed. Now, I would show you guys a copy of it, but it's in my car because I am taking it to my mom. So I don't have a copy of it here with me. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to get into our topic of the day. Do you really know your spouse? When I say, do you really know your spouse, I'm not talking about like, their favorite food, their favorite restaurant, their favorite dessert, what sexual positions they like, what turns them on, what turns them off. Not those things. Those are things that, you eventually learn over time of being with someone, getting to know someone, right? Right. So those are things that you eventually learn. But before you knew your spouse, like the time before let's say if you guys met when your spouse was, or even your significant other was 30, 35, 40. You don't know anything about the first 30, 35, 40 years of their life. You only know what they tell you. You guys need to know that. You only know what they tell you. You only know what they share with you. I am 100% sure that men don't share everything about what they did before they got with their wife now or their significant other, because why would you? Now, if it's something that is going to affect her, like, babe, I got herpes when I was 21. Okay, she needs to know that, right? She needs to know that you got herpes. But if it's something like, babe, I slept with this chick and her sister and her mom, and I kind of messed around with her aunt, you're not going to know that. So, this whole I know everything about my boo, about my husband, about my wife, you don't. You absolutely do not. There's things about a person's childhood that they're not going to share with you, because it's not that they don't want to share it with you. It's just like something that you really don't need to know. You don't need to know every single thing about your spouse unless it is something that is going to hinder or benefit you. Y'all didn't hear me. You don't need to know everything about your spouse unless it is something that is going to hinder or benefit you, right? I was talking with a male friend of mine, and he made a really good point. He's like, Nick, a woman, or even a man for that matter, is only going to know about 70% of their spouse, significant other. 70%. So guys, think about it. That's 30% of information that you don't know. And let's be real, let's be honest. You're probably never going to know. And it's not because someone is hiding something from you or they are intentionally keeping something from you. It's just that there's just some things you don't need to know. When I was doing the Benet Embry show, we had a huge discussion about women and women that have abortions. And, the host of the show, Benet, felt like if a woman had an abortion when she was, let's say, 16, 17, 18, and then she went on with her life, and then she met this guy when she was 32, 33, 34. Benet feels like that is information that she should share with this guy that she's now dating, and it should be shared within the first 2 to 3 dates. I totally disagree with that, because unless this woman can no longer have children because this abortion did something to her and she can no longer have kids, then you share that information. But if this woman had an abortion at 16 because she was like a lot of other 16-year-old girls that lost her virginity to her first love, because that's just how shit goes sometimes, maybe, I don't know. Why does she need to tell this new guy that she had an abortion at 16? Like, why would this even come up? She's just going to say, hey, I had an abortion when I was 16. Does that bother you? And if it does, who cares? Maybe I shouldn't say that. No, who cares? Again, this is something that has absolutely nothing to do with them building a relationship, getting to know each other. Like I said, unless that abortion is preventing her from having future kids, then yeah, share that information. But if it's not, then I'm sorry, it's just really none of his business, It's none of his business how many men she slept with. But on the flip side, it's none of a woman's business how many women her man has slept with. Again, and I keep stressing this, unless it's going to prevent something. Kids, you got a disease that's incurable, herpes, AIDS. Why are we sharing this information? Why are we sharing this? First of all, why would I just voluntarily share with you how many men I've slept with? Why would you ask me? And if you do ask me, you're not going to get an answer. I'm not going to give you a fake answer. I'm not going to give you any answer because it's none of your business. And women, Women shouldn't be asking men how many women if they slept with either, because I mean, men sleep with a lot of women. And women, ladies, do you really want to know that your guy has been with 250 women? But fellas, do you really want to know that there was that one time during spring break when she was in college and she was really kind of feeling herself because she thought she was cute and had lost some weight? And so she slept with like 12 guys that year? Do you really want to know that? You don't. I guarantee you don't. Now, how many of you have been with your spouse or a significant other for a year plus, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and then they do something or they act a certain way and you think, oh, I didn't know you were like that. Or, oh, I didn't know you liked that type of food. Oh, I didn't know that you didn't like doing this. It's because you don't know everything about your spouse. You just don't. So you guys really need to stop saying, oh, I know everything. I know everything about him. I know everything about her. You don't. You know what and you know what, when I say this, I really hate to say this because it's probably going to make you guys just really think about it. But you only know what they want you to know. Think about it. You only know what they want you to know. That personality, that attitude, that smart mouth. If they don't want you to know they got a smart mouth, they keep it to themselves, and they push that part of them down because they feel like maybe you can't handle it, maybe you can't take it, until that one time when they snap and you're like, oh, I didn't even know you could talk like that. So, we as human beings, we give you information that we want you to have. Because I can tell you, if there's something about me that I don't want you to know, you're never going to know. Period. If there's something about me that I don't want to share because I don't feel like it has anything to do with us, you'll never know. That's just life. And I'm only speaking for me. I can't speak for anybody else. So I am only speaking for me. I want you guys to know that. I am only speaking for me. But I don't share every single thing about me. There's a lot about me. There's things about me that my mom doesn't even know. It's just the way it goes. Right? Now, let me just clarify some things. When I am in a relationship, I am all for being transparent. I am all for opening up, sharing things about myself. You ask me some things that you want to know. I am all for that. Of course, except how many people have I slept with? You're never gonna know, like ever. So don't even ask. But I'm all for being transparent, being vulnerable. I'm all for that. That is me when I am in a relationship. And I have no problem with giving you information and opening up and letting you know who I am and what I am and the type of person that I am and what makes me tick and what pisses me off and what makes me happy, what makes me laugh, what makes me smile. I have no problem with doing that. But, if there's something that I did in my past, aside from sleeping with your homeboy or your dad or your cousin or your uncle or your brother, if I don't want you to know about it, I'm just not going to tell you. And if you don't know to ask me, then you can't ask me for me to share the information. So, that's just kind of how it goes. I don't want you guys to think that I am speaking on being closed off and not sharing things about me, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. One thing about me when I am in a relationship is that, now, let me back up. Relationship, not dating. because you guys know that there's a difference, right? When I am in a relationship and we've made this commitment to each other, oh, honey, please, I am opening up all day long. I'm going to let him in. I want him to know pretty much everything about me. I want him to know everything about me that benefits us and our relationship and where we're going. You know what I'm saying? What my past relationships were like and what I did in those past relationships, unless I stabbed somebody, he didn't need to know that. You know, we don't need to discuss those things. I want him to know everything about me that is pertaining to us moving forward and building something. You know, so I would never, ever utter the words that I know everything about my man, because I know that that is not true. I know that that is not true. I don't know about that spring break he did in Cancun with all them hoes. I don't know about that. And I don't want to know about that. Keep that to yourself. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Chronicles of Nikki. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I missed you guys. I missed this, talking and sharing and getting my viewpoint out there. I really did. And it's been too long. And I promise I will not stay away this long again. I think it's been like a month or something since I posted my last video. I promise I won't do that again, because you know, I got messages from you guys that, you know, like, when's the next video? And just as much as you all missed the videos and me getting the topics out there, I miss doing them. So I promise that will not happen again. Yes. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you are social distancing yourselves from everybody, because you know, you just need to stay away from people right now. That's the life we're living right now. This is our new normal. I don't think I like it, but whatever. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon, and stay tuned for the next.